What's up guys, how are we doing? My name is Billy Harris and welcome to my channel. Today I'm coming at you from this amazing view in downtown Toronto. I'm here consulting with my client Dan Vass on a few days as a consulting gig as such, working on routines and systems for him. And I'm here today to talk to you guys about why the concept of sleeping when you're dead will result in a failing business. So, if you're an individual in the digital space or an individual who runs their own business, if you sleep anything less than 8 hours, you are playing yourself, making yourself stupid, and making it more likely that you'll get Alzheimer's. For those who don't know, I'm a health consultant. I consult individuals who earn high 6 figures and 7 figures on how to optimize their health and their well-being to ultimately then scale their business by improving their performance. So from there, one of the key aspects, things we work on in regards to optimizing my clients' health is the area of sleep and how we master that aspect of things, okay? Now, sleep is hugely significant in regards to every variable from energy, cognitive performance, mindset, our mental health, our physical performance, focus and output, all of those variables, okay? Sleep is such a hugely important part in regards to willpower that it affects every single variable of our life, especially our work and our business. Now, guys, if someone like Jeff Bezos can find 8 hours per night to sleep, then I think we all can. I understand we're busy, we're individuals looking to then push our businesses further forward. There's many things going on in your life, okay? But it's all a matter of prioritization. What would you rather? Go out, be popping bottles in the club, or would you rather be optimizing your health, your well-being, to then further your business by charging your battery as such, okay? Very simple question. Now, many individuals in this space, in the entrepreneurship niche, or individuals who run their own digital business, in digital marketing, e-commerce, whatever platform it may be, they tend to follow the whole concept of sleeping when I'm dead. So from there, they can then push their business further forward by working crazy long hours. And it was glorified by Gary Vee, okay? That concept is void, that concept is awful. If you do that, your business will fail, I can guarantee you that. Now, we all know the importance of a good night's sleep when it comes to cognitive function, physical performance, and mental well-being. Yet, as I said, many individuals in this space will often trade another hour or two in bed, then working on emails late at night, maybe even reading a book, or from there engaging in activity which simply doesn't push anything further forward because they feel like, look, if I get these emails done or if I grind hard and then from there forget if I don't sleep at that point there, I'm going to push my business further forward. Essentially what they're doing at that point there is they're trading efficiency for quantity. They're working, let's say, 16 to 18 hour days and then from there only allowing themselves to sleep for 4 to 6 hours per night. That's horrendous, okay? And trust me, I observe the metrics, the sleep metrics of my clients who are making high 6 figures to 7 figures, and these individuals optimize every aspect of their sleep and their performance because they know how much it's going to benefit them in regards to a business perspective, okay? Very simple. I'm an individual, as I've said, I've been running my business now for roughly 18 months, and I've analyzed a ton of individual sleep metrics and seen how that correlates in regards to success, okay? Now, sleep is one of those things which have a compounding effect. So from there, in regards to optimizing this aspect of your life, from there it's going to benefit you in the long run, okay? I've seen and analysed clients who've been making 5 figures. I've seen their sleep metrics and how poor they tend to be, how inconsistent they tend to be, and from there in regards to fluctuating sleep start and end times. And then, like my client Dan Vass, whose apartment I'm currently in right now, what a beautiful apartment, might I add. From there, I've seen his sleep metrics and how efficient they are, okay? It's very simple. Sleep is key in this process. Even minor sleep deprivation, so sleeping for, let's say, 5 to 7 hours per night, circadian shift, from there having sleep start times and end times which are inconsistent, and then from there inefficient non-REM and REM sleep can severely impact our intelligence in the following ways, okay? Now, why is sleep such an important part of pushing your business further forward? That's a question that I get asked on an almost daily basis, okay? Now, the way I like to think of it is individuals, or let's say human beings as such, are simply a complex version of a robot. Everything can be fine-tuned and every variable can be performed at a better level or a higher level, okay? That's where I come in when it comes to mastering sleep. And again, that's one of the 4 variables I master with the clients that I work with, okay? So, improved sleep performance can obviously heighten cognitive ability, function as such. From there, in regards to focus and output being heightened much more so, energy will be heightened, mood, your ability to then regulate your emotions, stress. All of these variables are so important as individuals working in this space because again, as someone looking to further scale your business or an individual working on your own at that point there, you have to be resilient to stress to a degree, okay? That's why this element of things is so important. The aim of my work with my clients is to reserve as much time for the important things, the things which are going to move the needle further forward, whilst making sure that we're not compromising our sleep in that process. Very simple. So from there, we come in and assess systems, and then from there, routines as such in regards to optimizing sleep, whilst ensuring that the objective in regards to work is, if anything, heightened in regards to performance, and then from there, the goal achieved at a, let's say, a faster pace. So, in regards to a list of things we want to be assessing or a list of things we want to achieve whilst working with my clients, or for you guys who are watching this video, Very, very simple. Item number 1, we want to be getting at least 8 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Now, the manner in which we achieve this is very, very simple. We put in place a reverse engineering protocol. Now, what do I mean by that? This is very, very simple. Okay, so from there, if I'm looking to achieve, let's say, an 8 to 9 hour duration of sleep, and then from there, obviously ensuring the efficiency of that sleep is high, what I will do is I'll look at where I can start my sleep, or my sleep start time, as I like to refer to it as. Okay, so from there, personally speaking, my head hits the pillow at roughly 11 o'clock at night, and from there I wake at 7 in the morning. Okay, and what that allows me to ensure is that I have 8 hours of duration, and let's say 7 hours and 45 of efficient sleep, bearing in mind that it takes me a while to drift off, which is called your latency, and is observed by a platform or actually a wearable tech source called Aura, which is a ring I'm wearing right now. And from there, that assesses my sleep metrics and the metrics of all the clients that I work with. So from there, we can essentially assess the variables which contribute to a good performing sleep, and from there the variables which are simply having a negative impact in regards to our sleep and the efficiency of that. Okay, so again, one of the most important things to be aware of, and the things we want, is 8 to 9 hours of sleep. Second variable we want to be aware of is the same sleep start time and end time every day. Okay, and what this enables us to do is have a optimally functioning circadian rhythm, okay, without any circadian shift. What is our circadian rhythm? Essentially, our circadian rhythm is our body's natural clock, okay, and actually functions on a 25-hour cycle, which is something interesting, but I won't dive into that for now, okay? Now, the reason as to why this is so important is because our circadian rhythm is responsible for many, many things, including hormonal function, and obviously, as a result of that, consequently, if it's not in place, misregulation. Why is this important? Well, our body starts to produce a hormone called melatonin to ensure that we fall into a deep state of sleep, okay? Now, our bodies know what time we should be producing melatonin if our sleep start and end times are inconsistent. Nor does it know when we should be waking up, which means that production of cortisol, which is a stress hormone, okay, which actually wakes us up, and why I often feel like a groggy sense in the morning because cortisol is being produced, is actually being produced at a separate time in the day, okay? So if our circadian rhythm isn't aligned, again, our sleep quality will be very, very poor as a result. So the second variable we want to control is consistent sleep start and end times. Simple. The third and fourth variable we want to control is 1 to 2 hours of non-REM sleep, and then from there 2 hours of REM sleep. And finally, a stable resting heart rate and HRV metric, okay? Now, all of these metrics, again, they might sound a little bit confusing if you are new to this element of things. If not, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But from there, I observe all of these metrics and all this information through my platform Aura, okay? The wearable tech source, which I'm wearing right now, this ring, it uploads metric data in regards to my sleep performance and the performance of my clients. So from there, I can then assess that. My clients worldwide, so for example, my client Dan Bass, based in Toronto when I'm based in London, I can assess that, analyze that, and then from there put in place a more optimal protocol, or from there routine for him in regards to optimizing his sleep and assessing the variables for that. Now, what I wanted to talk to you guys about is sleep stages, which is the key to better sleep. So there's a misconception that by having 8 to 9 hours of sleep per night, that your sleep is efficient and optimal for you guys. That simply isn't the case. It's kind of like an old wives' tale, which is spread to kids to ensure that at that point there, they make sure they get their head on the pillow and they are rested for the next day, okay? At that point there, 8 to 9 hours of sleep in terms of duration simply does not guarantee that our sleep is efficient, nor will benefit us in the long run necessarily, okay? So from there, I'm going to talk about how we assess our sleep stages and why this is the key to better sleep. Our sleep alternates between 2 phases, orthodox sleep and REM sleep. So, in terms of the stages of sleep I'm going to analyse, we have 5, okay? Our first stage being wakefulness, N1, first stage of sleep, N2, second stage of sleep, N3, third stage of sleep, and then finally we have our REM sleep, okay? And this culminates what is effectively, our sleep cycle, okay? These 5 stages being really key in this process. During a typical 7 to 8 hours of sleep, the sleeper will move from the first stage to the second stage to the third stage and then back to the second stage. After this, the sleeper then simply repeats this process or goes straight into REM sleep. And this process is repeated roughly 4 to 5 times. One full sleep cycle will last roughly 90 minutes. Now, it's paramount that we have at least 3 full sleep cycles to ensure we have enough deep sleep to then heighten our cognitive performance and our ability for our brain to function. Now, the penultimate variable or action item I want to refer to on this list is action items for us to further improve our sleep, okay? Now, in regards to the work that I do with my clients, I work on what's called like a lowest hanging fruit basis. What I mean by that is we maximize things we can control most easily prior to moving on to subsequent action items or from their variables and systems, okay? So action item number 1 is simply to ensure that we have 8.5 to 9 hours of sleep in terms of duration every night. As I said to you guys earlier in this video, reverse engineer that process, okay? So for example, making sure we have a set sleep start time and end time is so important in this respect, okay? From there, what we want to refer to is more of a nighttime protocol. So once, for example, we have 11 o'clock set as our sleep start time, reverse engineer that process further by having a nighttime protocol being initiated, okay? I personally initiate my protocol at roughly 9 o'clock at night. What that entails is simply preparing my tomorrow today. So from there, preparing my day in advance, making sure that any stress as such or anything that's on the top of my mind from a business perspective is written down. I can close my laptop, I no longer have to think about that. From there, I'll then create what's called a brain dump. So from there, get out a pad and paper, and from there, write down any social stresses or anything that was on my mind, and then from there, any business-related things that are on my mind too. I simply close my notebook and leave that for tomorrow. At that point, they're alleviating myself of any stress at this point. At this point here, I'm also wearing my blue light blocking glasses, okay? My favorite company to work with for blue light blocking glasses is a company called TrueDark, developed by Dave Asprey, American-based company. And yes, you will look like a little bit of a freak by wearing these glasses. They often have red lenses or orange lenses, but what would you rather? Benefiting your ego or optimizing your health, your brain's ability to function, as a result of that, your business success? Simple questions, okay? So, at this point here, I remove myself from any blue light emitting source. I avoid the use of all tech, for example, the TV, my laptop, whatever that being said, my phone even, and then from there make sure that I wind down by having in place a warm shower. Okay, you guys can test out whether you want to use a cold shower or a warm shower. I personally like a warm shower. It relaxes me at that point there. And then from there, I don't use any blue light emitting source, so no tech source. I simply read a book, or from there engage in a social activity. For example, like if you have a partner in place, or if you guys have like family members in your house, that's awesome. Or from there, simply engage in something where I'm enjoying myself a little bit more so in the evening, but something which is going to stimulate me too much, cognitively speaking, to ensure that I feel relaxed, I'm in a relaxed state prior to going to sleep. Action item number 2. I do not use my phone after, let's say, 10 o'clock for myself personally. At that point there, I'm alleviating any chance of anyone engaging with myself socially speaking, which could then incur a degree of stress potentially. And from there also, I'm avoiding any blue light emitting source. So in regards to cognitive function as such or anything which is stimulating, I'm removing that source, which is my phone. And often you guys will find that you have poor sleep protocol or poor sleep efficiency simply because you're using your phone too frequently, okay? Action item number 3. As I already said, wear blue light blocking glasses. I wear mine roughly 3 to 4 hours out of my sleep start protocol. My clients who I work with will often see that. You guys will see that on my stories if I post a client consultation. I'm often wearing my blue lens, my blue light blocking glasses, my clear lens glasses, okay? I love these things, it's kind of like a signature. You guys need to be purchasing a pair. As I said, TrueDark is the best company to be working with, okay? Action item number 4, avoid all alcohol consumption, okay? Alcohol is the killer of our REM sleep, which is essentially our dream cycle, okay? So at that point there, that's a really key part of our sleep. If we consume any form of alcohol in the day prior to our sleep, or even like, let's say 5 hours prior to our sleep, at that point there, our REM sleep is almost gonna be non-existent. So avoid alcohol at all costs. Very simple. Action item number 6. Do not drink any caffeinated substance, whether that be tea, coffee, or pre-workout 9 hours prior to sleep, okay? The half-life of caffeine is very high and something which people underestimate. It's going to be really bad for our sleep if we are consuming alcohol sources prior to that point. So personally speaking, I make sure that all of my caffeine is consumed prior to midday. Okay, very, very simple. Okay, the next action item for us is action item number 7. And this is simply control the temperature of your room or your sleep environment. 18 degrees Celsius or 65 degrees Fahrenheit is going to be key for you guys. Make sure that your sleep environment is well ventilated as well. Okay, so from there, allow yourself some fresh air. Make sure the windows are open prior to going to bed to ensure that, as I said, our temperature is set well and our room is ventilated well. Action item number 8, I believe. If anything, I missed a couple, but action item number 8, okay? Make sure your room is totally dark, okay? Now, this is really important in regards to having blackout blinds, which we actually do have here, Dan has here. Blackout blinds to prevent any light source from interfering with our sleep, okay? It will simply disrupt with our sleep cycle, and then from there, in the main, when you wake up in the morning, you'll find you're waking up to the light source. At that point there, your REM sleep is going to be compromised because you obtain 75% of your REM sleep in the last 25% of your sleep cycle, okay? So it's very, very much important that we make sure that we have blackout blinds in place and there is no light in the room at that point there. Next action item. Exercise does definitely improve sleep, but we must make sure that our exercise or our training program is not any time prior to 3 hours prior to bed. Okay, so personally speaking, I roughly exercise at 4 p.m. every day. From there, once I finish, let's say the bulk of my work in regards to action items which will move the business further forward, push the needle further forward. So from there, I then exercise, and at that point, that doesn't compromise my sleep. Okay. And then finally, at that point there, in regards to making sure you have your eating time set in place as well, ensure that you are eating no later than 2 hours prior to bed. Okay, because at that point there, our body's still processing food sources, and if anything, it will compromise our ability to get into a deep sleep cycle, and then from there have efficient sleep subsequently. Okay. Now, finally guys, in regards to things we can then move forward with, obviously once we've observed the lowest hanging fruits, One key thing or one key tool that I utilize for my sleep and also the sleep of my clients who are earning high 6 figures and 7 figures is what's called an Oura Ring, okay? So this is a piece of wearable tech, and what this does, it assesses every variable of my sleep, from my sleep start time, my sleep end time, my latency, so time in between when my head hits the pillow and my sleep actually starts, my deep sleep, my REM sleep, my breathing, my respiratory rate, absolutely everything, okay? This piece of kit is vital if you are someone who's looking to optimize your sleep, and as a result of that, have more energy, focus, your ability for your brain to function, memories as such, and then from there, ability to learn and acquire new information. This piece of kit is essential, okay? And you can find it online, Oura Ring, and from there, as I said, I assess all of my clients' metrics from this. Now, what I am going to do at the end of this video is I'm simply going to put let's say, a highlight of one of my clients' work. So what I mean by that is the work I do with my clients, Spencer Duke, okay? Now, this call is actually from one of our consulting calls last week in which we were discussing our work together. We've now been working together for roughly, I believe it's 3 weeks. And from there, in this video in particular, we're discussing his wake time, and then from there, his inconsistencies in regards to sleep start, end times, and also duration, okay? So I'm simply going to add this to the end of this video for you guys to analyze. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Make sure you like the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. And I look forward to seeing you from London, a new location, when I'm back in London, having spoken to you guys from this amazing view in the next video. Enjoy. Thank you very much.